And cheers, everybody. The Anglo-Italian pod is back on Monday nights. I'm holding a microphone because there was a little bit of a setup mix-up as we were putting everything up. We haven't done a live stream since the Champions League final.
Yeah, that's the last time we were live. Man, that feels like a lifetime ago, no? That feels like a long time ago.
It was. And guess who predicted the score in that final? I did.
You did. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. And
guess what you predicted this week? The Ronaldo brace.
You know, the annoying thing is, whenever I say these things, I never put money on them, and I put money on the bets that are always terrible. I knew I should have put money on a brace. I could just see it, and I would have made a little bit of money, I think, maybe.
Thank you very much to Mr. Kobayashi, Mr. Bryce Jones, and the Steve Cole 1984, friends of the pod, being there almost since day one. We will never forget it. For all new listeners, you can find us on Instagram at Anglo-Italian Pod and on Twitter at Italian Anglo Pod. And if you see some sweat on my forehead, it's
pretty warm in it. It's pretty
warm. We turned on the AC, but that should do. Rory, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good. First proper day back at school, full day teaching. So a little bit tired, guys, much like the last episode as well. Although I feel like I've been tired since about 2008.
What happened in 2008?
I don't know. So maybe I left. No, wait. I don't know. It was a rough year. It's the first year that jumped out. I don't know. Yeah, but apart from that, I'm good. What about yourself?
Everything's fine. I'm starting to work full-time again after a long summer in which I worked, but I was for 1 month in the mountains. So many times I was just like, am I? Oh, yeah, I'm working. But so then I had my holidays, and right now we're back. I'm starting to shape my own schedule for the upcoming year. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to start again, having a routine after all the curfews and lockdowns. Hopefully, we shall never hear of that shit again. But we are here to talk about football. We're going to talk about the Premier League, Serie A, things that happened around Europe in general this weekend. And then, of course, we are going to jump to the Champions League because it's Champions League week, baby. And spoiler alert, Arsenal are not in it.
No, still not in it. Still not in it. Maybe next year. I have everything crossed for next season.
But let's start from there exactly, because apparently the mighty Gunners can also win games. Try to dodge them bullets, Norwich.
30 shots in a game, the most under Mikel Arteta since he's taken over.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we is it good or bad? I don't know. We should have had like 4 or 5, so definitely wasteful. But fuck it, a 1-0 win. Aubameyang fucking poked it in off the line after a pretty fortuitous kind of couple of deflections. And you think, if that's the goal we need to get our season back on track, then I will take it. We let Norwich into the game a little bit too much. At times, they were like dominating the ball and we invited pressure. I was like, why, guys? Why? Just keep the pressure up, keep it going. But we managed to see it through. I was really, really impressed with Tommy Yarsu. This guy.
Do you like him?
Man, that guy was a machine. He won everything in the air. He was running right up the wing. He nearly scored like a volley, which would have been beautiful. I feel like he really, along with Ben White, now Ben White in the air isn't the strongest. He's definitely better with his feet than Tomiyasu, but I think if Ben White missed out on a header, Tomiyasu was there to zip in behind him and clear it, and I feel like that's a partnership that could work quite well. I was excited about that back four. Ramsdale was fucking really good. Great to see him, like, he celebrated the Arsenal goal, like he fucking loves it. So straight away you're like, I like that guy. And I think this team was like, this is the team that Arteta wanted, right? So now he has to do it, right? Now he had, because this is his team. But I think to get us into top 6, that's the fucking aim, right? That has to be the aim.
Still the aim?
That has to be the aim. It's only 4 games in. It's only 4 games in.
It's a pretty fun game to do these days, to tease Rory.
Especially when I bite every time.
Yeah, he does.
But I feel like
takes the bait.
Because this is Arteta's team now, he has no excuses. But I'm excited by it. It was a young... We're still going to have a lot of disappointing results, but I was happy with that one. I was pretty happy.
And about Tomiyasu, I just think, I mean, he played at Bologna. He had a pretty good season last year. He wasn't one of the standout defenders in Serie A. But if I was a supporter of any other league, I would love for a Serie A defender to come to my team. He's played the physical defensive football that we love so much in Italy. And, well, he will have to adapt to the Prem. But as you were saying, he had a pretty good game.
He played for about 60 minutes. And I think it was like players most recently where they've impressed the most on their debut. Like Twitter was just Arsenal fans going, "Holy shit, who is this guy?" Like,
no offense, Rory, but I didn't watch the game. As you can tell,
well, no, of course, I was
no,
the only one watching it. I'm sure.
I'm waiting for better days to watch an Arsenal game. Arsenal Norwich.
Fucking me and you both.
Definitely did not sound that exciting. But one game that I highly enjoyed was Ronaldo's return at the Theater of Dreams. I mean, can I say one thing right off the bat? Since Bryce is here, he was waiting for it. I see already he's typing it. But man, we've covered it.
Give us a minute to get settled in, right, before we talk about it.
Exactly. But there is this one thing that we talked about in the past, and you're an Arsenal fan. You despise Manchester United like I would despise Juventus, probably. But to me, seeing that, I don't know, man, there was a Pogba assist where he kind of like turned. He did a 360. Lingard scored, and then you see Cristiano Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes scoring that incredible goal. I was just like, this is Manchester United.
It's a team.
I was just like, this is finally a team. And it was kind of heartbreaking for a foreign fan to see what United had become over the past few years.
I fucking loved it.
I know you did. I said as a foreign fan. That's why I said as a foreign fan. But it was beautiful to see Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't know. It just all of a sudden it makes so much sense that he's wearing the Man U jersey again.
It does feel like it was written in the stars. It really does feel like, and it was like someone said it seems strange to see him, but so comfortable to see him back in the United shirt.
That's the word.
Where you're like, it's like he never left.
Comfortable.
It's so weird.
It was comfortable. It was just like, man, it was like something, like I have no more certainties in my life, but Cristiano Ronaldo with that red kit on, which makes me wonder, why the fuck did he go to Juventus when he did? But I think he's going to Manchester United at the right time. Yeah, the reason mosquito was
it's going to bite me.
But no, I think he went to United at the right time, because when he made the move to Juventus, Juventus definitely looked like a more exciting project than United.
Yeah, at the time, definitely. And I think, wasn't it when Mourinho was there?
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe that's a factor.
We know that the two most cocky Portuguese of the country don't get along that much. We'll get to Mourinho later. But yeah, that was a beautiful win by Manchester United. Any other takeaways?
It's starting to it's the biggest compliment I can pay is that I'm terrified every time I watch United now. And I'm like pissed off because I'm like, oh, damn, they're genuinely good again. I've said it before, but I'm like, they're genuinely good again. And you're like, I was really hoping that, like, it was terrible being good when United were good because they beat us all the time, right? But being shit when United are good is going to be fucking awful.
Hey, you beat Norwich,
because if they start winning things, if they finally start winning things, a trophy more recently than we have, then maybe then they'll be back there. But I think they're starting to get back towards.
But he beat Norwich, Rory. Don't be so hard on yourself.
No, we did. And 3 points. We're not bottom of the league anymore. So
you made exactly the same amount of points as United did by, showcasing Cristiano Ronaldo. Still 3 points.
That's true. Yeah, you can have all your style and excitement. We'll just take 1-0. Thank you.
But about the Cristiano Ronaldo goals, there was the second one. You can say it's the goalkeeper's fault. He didn't close his legs nor anything. But I mean, and it doesn't take me, the idiot who played as a goalkeeper with his friends, to know that when you've got a forward coming to you like that, and especially knowing he's good, he can shoot anywhere. He can chip you. He can shoot to your right, to your left. And so you're kind of hanging there. And then when you make a decision, it's too late and your legs are wide open.
All you got to do is throw yourself at his feet. But then you're right. It's too late by that point. It was a great finish. I thought the Lingard goal was beautiful.
Man,
that was a really beautiful move.
He was very composed and took his time, turned around and scored a sick goal. And Paul Pogba, I don't remember right now how many assists, but I think
he's now
6 in 4 games.
Yeah, so he got 4 in the first game, didn't he?
Yeah.
Or 3 in the first game. So 6 now, I think.
Yeah, 6 assists. And also that's nice too, because I hate at a point it felt like Paul Pogba was being held captive almost at Manchester United. But I like to see when a very good, a talented player performs. He's well wanted by the rest of the team. He's one of the undoubted, he's always a starter. And so it's nice to see that also United, after changing from the bench to the starters and fourth, right now they have a team and they're going to push with that team, I think, in the Champions League as well.
I think they could go far in both. But yeah, Mr. Kobayashi has kindly pointed out that it is 7 assists. He got 2 assists against Newcastle. Credit, yes. And also, you're right, Newcastle are absolutely embarrassing. We've talked about it. I think Steve Bruce is actually getting towards criminal at this point in terms of how badly he's doing the job, and how, like, for someone who's from Newcastle, how little he seems to care about the club, or how little he seems to try to want to call out Mike Ashley or try and do something. If I was a Newcastle fan, I would be fucking waiting at the door for that guy. Like, there was rumors he went on holiday to Spain during the international break. Like, not a good place to be.
Apparently not the only manager, spoiler alert, the Serie A discovered something very intense today. But I was Chelsea, Romelu Lukaku, Chelsea fans, I expect a statue with the Inter logo outside of Stamford Bridge saying, thank you, Inter Milan, for turning Romelu Lukaku into the beast that he is right now. Because we were talking about his goals earlier, me and you, Rory, and had you ever seen anything like that when he was at United? It felt like he played a completely different type of football, I feel like.
To go back and analyze Lukaku, I have to go back to when he was at, like, Everton, which is so long ago now. And that's when he was, like, enjoying his football at his pomp. And I think he did score goals like that, but then he kind of lost his way at United. And there's many reasons for that, right? Partly him, partly the manager, partly the atmosphere. There's lots of reasons why that didn't work out. But I think since he's got to Inter, obviously Conte has improved him. Obviously Inter have improved him. But I think he's just enjoying his football again. He's found himself. He's like the king of Stamford Bridge, if you know what I mean. He's like he wants to be. He was
the king of San Siro until
I know.
3 weeks
Well,
ago.
you know,
He wants. He's
maybe they'll be
that.
a bit slower on painting the mural. Maybe they'll take a little bit longer than the fans did. I don't know.
So he celebrated, to the viewers that are looking at us, he celebrated with this gesture, which in Italian means one thing, and it's the reproductive organs of a woman. But so I don't know. He celebrated like that, and then below an Italian Instagram page that makes football memes, they said he did that sign because it's what he's loved since he was born, because it's what he said about Inter Milan. Like, you know, I've been a supporter since I was a kid. Chelsea, I've been a supporter since I was a kid. And then you do this celebration. It's like he's a supporter since he was a kid. You know? But no, I mean, I honestly, when I saw the highlights for that game, the extended highlights, I was just like shaking my head at the 2 Lukaku goals, because I had just watched the Inter Sampdoria, and I was like, we played pretty well, but we could have used him, and I miss him. I miss having that guarantee.
Well, I think we can tell that you miss him a little bit.
I miss having that guarantee up fucking top, and I'm happy for Chelsea fans, for you guys. It's enjoy it. Don't enjoy it. As he said, Inter put me out of a very shit situation, and now enjoy him for what he is, and hopefully can win at the Bridge again. I cannot be salty towards Lukaku. I really like what he did at Inter Milan. I don't like the way he left, but I'm happy for him for the way he's
well, I think it was like
performing. All jokes aside,
it was a weekend for people to make triumphant returns, and Lukaku did as well. They were both 2 very different goals. And Mr. Kobayashi has just asked thoughts on Saul debut. Yeah, he had an absolute stinker. Really did not look comfortable. But I think Saul hasn't been in great form for Atletico for a while, and things were getting sour there. So I think give Tuchel a bit of time, and he'll be in that team and being the player that we all know he is. But he did not perform well.
Also, I think it's very difficult to change leagues, number one, and also to change way of playing. Like, you play under Simeone for 8 years, and you play a very particular type of football, which is definitely not the Premier League type of football, in my opinion. It's Atletico is, it's very defensive. It's always, we score 1 goal more than the other ones. The pace is different and everything. So I think he's just going to need some getting used to.
I think, yeah, exactly. And I think also the fact that he wasn't even playing well for Atleti before he left makes a big difference. But yeah, we know that Tuchel can coach these players, and he'll be, within like 2 months, he'll be like, holy shit, what a signing. I'm certain of it. Chelsea have got incredible squad depth. This title race in England is going to be absolute madness.
And don't count Liverpool out.
Well, this is it. And you still got City.
Despite not doing any transfer business this summer, they are up there, and they're looking comfortable, and they're delivering.
Well, this is it. The only thing that concerns me for Liverpool is, as always, injuries. And we'll talk about Harvey Elliott shortly. But I think their front line is getting very old now. Their team is getting quite old. So Van Dijk is 30, Henderson's over 30, Salah's 30, Firmino is 29, 30, Mane's 30. So like a lot of the key players are getting on a bit. So I think Liverpool can't delay the business much longer. But for this season, they still look absolutely terrifying. It's the same problem like the hangover from the end of last season. They just can't convert their chances. Even yesterday, okay, they won 3-0, but they should have been 3-0 up in the first half against Leeds. They should have been miles ahead. Leeds were playing their typical football and leaving Mane and Salah opening all the space. And it's like, Liverpool should be making games more comfortable. And I think maybe when they come up against title challengers, maybe they'll be a little bit short because you might only get 2 chances, 3 chances, not the 15 you get against Leeds, if you know what I mean. But I think they're definitely going to be up there. I just worry about the age of their squad.
I feel like ever since that that game, early March 2020, when COVID officially broke out in Europe and lockdown started and Liverpool lost to Atletico at Anfield, I feel like ever since the hype around Liverpool has dropped all of a sudden. Then you probably know better than me. Liverpool fans tend to be pretty mouthy when they're winning.
Oh God, yeah.
But it just felt like it felt like the beginning of a cycle. Then this huge pandemic hit, shit happened. The team had to cope with the injury last year, namely of Virgil van Dijk and all that. But it feels like all of a sudden it has dropped. Like the excitement right now in the Premier League is not around the Liverpool anymore. What has happened in your opinion? Is it only the aging squad?
I think there's also been a mad amount of business in the Premier League since Liverpool haven't done any. Like to 2 transfer windows with no major business, things move pretty quickly in the Premier. Like within one summer, we've had Ronaldo back in the league, Lukaku back, and Grealish to City. Like that's a lot of big business. And I think the fact that Liverpool haven't done any business just emphasizes that gap that has been there. If you know what I mean? Business, I think so. Yeah, now there's reasons why Liverpool haven't been able to do that because they can only spend what they sell and they're kind of self-sufficient. So that's the reason why. But I think Klopp knows that he's got maybe one more cycle in this team, and then he needs to do something. I think, and I
would love to see it personally because when Liverpool were raking havoc, did they say right across Europe, I was kind of loving it.
They were playing great football. They were playing like fantastic football, great to watch. And I think Klopp has another cycle in him. I think what he's trying to do now is interesting with Harvey Elliott until he got this awful injury, which is just a complete accident, but just terrible. He was breaking him into the team. This was like a really, really exciting young English player. And I think Klopp has done it with Curtis Jones. He's done it with Nat Phillips. These players that Liverpool fans maybe thought didn't have a future at the club. Klopp's gone, no, I'm going to give you a new contract and we're going to build the team. And I think he's starting to try and build another team. He's like starting now.
One last Liverpool question. Sometimes I think, and I don't think I know the whole story. Whatever happened to Trent Alexander-Arnold? He
got 2 assists again this weekend.
No, I know, but he for a second, he wasn't even part of the starters anymore. He didn't get called up for the national team this summer.
Yeah, I think he got an injury and then his form didn't really recover. And I think
because there was a lot of people, talk around him.
There was a lot of people very happy to jump on Trent's back very quickly.
You see, it's fucking hard to say. I'm not the only idiot who mispronounces it.
It's a bit of a tongue twister, that one. There was a lot of people who were very quick to jump on his back and were very happy to do it. I thought some of the criticism was quite harsh. He's still only 19, 20. Maybe a bit older now.
And he's got that.
And he's like insane. He's like an incredible player. And I think it's good to see him back in form. And like Klopp has stuck with him the entire way, like Klopp does with his players. And I think now it's paying off because we're seeing him back in form. And I'll tell you what, he's in my fantasy team because the numbers of assists that guy gets is ridiculous. She was killing it again. Leeds just like lambs to the slaughter, kind of don't really learn their lesson, do they? I know we love Bielsa for it, but they don't really learn their lesson. And then we have Man City. 1-0,
top of the league.
1-0 against Leicester. Kind of efficient. Bernardo Silva, nice little finish. I think that's all you can say about that one.
But there is one more game.
Could have scored quite a few.
Yeah, I bet with the team they have.
Yeah, they should. A few chances.
But the other team that we want to talk about in England is the team managed by the man who has never lost in his lifetime against Spurs. We are talking about Patrick Vieira, ladies and gentlemen, manager for Crystal Palace. He takes on Tottenham after 3 consecutive Spurs wins, all by 1-0. And he says, nobody can score against them. I'll score 3. What a win. That was the first game of the weekend.
First game of the weekend.
First game of the weekend. Did you watch it? What did you make of it?
I did watch it. It was an absolutely great game. And Tottenham ended up getting a red card for Tanganga through 2 yellow cards. But honestly, Tottenham were shite the entire game. Like Palace absolutely dominated them. I think this really exciting young team that Palace are getting here and this exciting young manager, I'm like, I really hope it goes well. And like this is like a result that could be like a landmark where it's like, because it's their first win of the season, right?
First episode of the season, we actually interviewed Kurt,
Yeah, exactly.
our Crystal Palace friend. So give a listen to what he was saying. But he did warn us. He said it's going to be an exciting season.
I think we saw Michael Elise make his debut. He's a really exciting player. And then Odsonne Edouard. Now, when strikers come from Scotland to the Premier League, you're never quite sure how they're going to do, right? We've had some that have been incredible and some not so much. So I think when he came on, within 28 seconds, he scores a goal. First chance, just instinct shot, bottom corner. And you're like, oh, this guy doesn't even need to think. Like, there's no pressure on him. Scores another 10 minutes later. Crystal Palace are unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like, really, I think they're gonna upset a lot of teams this year. If Patrick Vieira can keep this going, they could be a really, really dangerous team. For Tottenham, they just look lost. I think the work, like the first 3 games, you were like, okay, Nuno, it's not exciting football. It never is with Nuno, but he's getting those wins. He's getting the clean sheets. He's getting the goals. But I think those 1-0 wins can only last so long before you run out of luck, right? And I feel like this game, they just played terribly and their luck ran out and Palace just battered them. And what a way to open the weekend. I'm sorry, any Spurs fans. I'm not really sorry, but I really fucking enjoyed it.
As my friend Fabio once said, I love this quote. It's like, man, I love the Premier League. When you start it, you never know if you're going to get relegated or win the title. And honestly, man, if Inter played in the Premier League at the beginning of every season, I would be like, oh, God. Because you never know, man. It's just like so subtle. And all of a sudden, you bump into Crystal Palace and they defeat you 3-0. And then there are other 6 teams competing for the title, and then another 8 teams competing for relegation. And it's just like, man, you kind of want to like
busy everywhere. It's busy everywhere.
Yeah. Busy.
Yeah.
But I think that's it for the Premier League. Good job, Patrick Vieira. You definitely did.
So I just have to say, I am absolutely loving him being in the Premier League. I love it. I fucking love it.
Patrick Vieira. Would you ever guess that Rory loves a former ex-Arsenal player?
But not just any player. Patrick Vieira.
No, Patrick Vieira was sick. But let's move to Italy. We're going to give ourselves 10 minutes max to cover what happened in Italy. Rory, if I have to pick a standout game, it was the last game that was played last night in Rome. Jose Mourinho's 1,000th, kind of difficult to pronounce, 1,000th bench, and he celebrated it under the Roma Curva with his players at the death of time. It was beautiful to see, but guys, that game was insane. If you haven't watched it, go watch the extended highlights. It was just like play on one side, play on the other side, post, crossbar, incredible save, goal. You're just like, what's going on? It was a beautiful game of football. And I will tell you something, Rory and listeners, I think that some of the Roma players are going all in on the Mourinho mentality. All in.
I think there's still enough kind of mysticism and hype around Mourinho in this country for players to be like, yeah, he did it. He did it with Inter when nobody saw it coming. I think you can see that squad going, yeah, okay, this is our chance to win something. I am so on board the Mourinho Roma experience. I am in.
It's kind of crazy how your reputation can have a completely different look according to where you are. Mm-hmm. Like Mourinho in Italy, as you were saying, like in England right now, he's like
washed up,
done. Nobody even, Roy, please drink some beer because I've done a lot of work talking about the Premier League. Right now, it's your turn to catch up. But no, I mean, as you were saying, Mourinho has got a reputation in Italy, and well, the one person who really bought into the Mourinho mentality, and I saw it during the celebration, is Mancini, the defender, the center back for Roma. They were like squeezing each other's faces and like screaming at each other. I was like, oh God, he's such a dangerous man, Mourinho. Like when he finds players that buy into his mentality, it's fucking crazy. Yeah. But yeah, he's got that reputation. These kids, probably Mancini was just, he was just a little kid. Mm-hmm. And he saw Mourinho is the special one in Italy. And hey, undefeated, 3 games, 3 wins. I love this quote today. He said, I lied to everybody. I told them at the beginning of the season, I wouldn't give a fuck about my 1,000th game as a manager, but secretly I did. I really wanted that win. And what a way to celebrate it with that goal from El Shaarawy. I mean, that 2-1 from El Shaarawy.
That was a hell of a finish.
Man, El Shaarawy has got that shot. But also, he's a player that I think could have done more in his career. Oh, yeah. That, however, he's my age. He's 29 years old. He's actually a Scorpio like me. We were born around the same days. Yeah, another Scorpio talent.
You should get similar eyebrows. You should get his eyebrows.
Do I? great story about Gattuso yelling at. He decided. I decided to quit football the day that I saw El Shaarawy plucking his eyebrows in the locker room. I was like, I'm too old for this shit. I'm out. But I'm not. I mean, he's a player that was so hyped back in the day, and then he performed wherever he went. In China, he went as well. Then at Roma, AC Milan before that. But I feel like he should have had more, and it's beautiful to see that he scores a winner for Roma. Roma are not the only undefeated team and the only perfect team in Serie A, as Napoli defeat Juventus and AC Milan defeat Lazio. But let's go to Napoli-Juventus. Did you watch the game?
I did watch the game.
Holy shit, I should have watched the Arsenal-Norwich. When I watched that, I was just like, why am I being racist towards Arsenal? I could have watched that game. And I mean, guys, it's all right. You will say what you think about Juventus. Then I will say my opinion about the way they played.
Sorry? All right. Okay. So
now this is my friend Teddy. He said, Tommy, quit football to play lacrosse. Yeah, I did that back in the day. Turns out I was equally as bad for lacrosse as I was for football. Okay. But that's another story. What did you make of the Napoli-Juventus game?
I didn't know. I kind of ended up messaging, kind of tweeting Steve Cole halfway through the game. Like, was Allegri football always this boring? Maybe through like the distance of time, you forget. But my God, when they got 1-0 up, they just did nothing. Like, they just tried to suffocate the game. And then Napoli came into it, and I was praying Napoli won. I was really impressed with Napoli. I think that's the first time Spalletti's beaten Juventus.
Yep.
That is like a big statement early on in the season. And like so soon after losing to Empoli, that is like... That's bad for you.
Oh, no.
That's fucking terrible.
It is.
You,
it is terrible. And
really
look,
bad.
Today I started following this. His name is Nati per Vincere, Born to Win. He's an Italian YouTuber, and he talks everything Juventus. He's a hardcore Juventus fan. He became a meme because he always goes bonkers when Juventus are playing, and he does the live streams. But he also says some very interesting stuff when he's not watching the game. And it's very interesting to see the Juventus perspective. Like, I think he's pretty objective. Basically, what he was saying, he was just like, guys, let's not lie to ourselves. Agnelli does not give a fuck about Juventus. Our president is using Juventus as a little toy for his own...
his own gain, right?
For his own gain.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly, for that. And calling Allegri is exactly... Basically, you called the last manager that won a lot at Juventus, and you pretend that image of Allegri is going to cover all the dirt that there is behind it. But it was like, let's think about the last time that Allegri was at Juventus. There was a perfect team built by Conte that was going on its own. Mm-hmm. It was like, it was going on its own. He just needed somebody, to steer the wheel.
The ship. Yeah,
exactly, to steady the ship. And Allegri is a master at doing that. But give Allegri an average team and things become difficult. And Juventus the other night, okay, there were 7 players missing from Juventus, the Dybalas, the Quadrados, the Chiesas, and everything. But at the same time, you are fucking Juventus, and you don't go out in Naples scoring 1 goal and playing goal defense. Look for another one. Also, when Koulibaly, a lot of people brought back when Koulibaly gave the illusion to Napoli fans 3 years ago that they would win the title, and he scored the winner against Juventus at the 90th minute, but it was a 0-0 draw. So Allegri, back then, he was planning to win the title with a 0-0 draw. That was his game plan. That was his game plan.
Christ.
This guy was saying it today, and I was like, holy shit, it makes a lot of sense. And the other thing is that you go read the new Juventus sporting director's quotes on quotes from the Juventus magazines, and he said, well, we are going to invest a lot of money on young players. That's the future of Juventus. So the whole Ronaldo deal...
what all the cool clubs are doing.
Yeah, the whole Ronaldo deal has put the club in absolute shambles. Yeah, wow. Right now, they're fucked, and they're just like, guys, get used to it. They haven't quite told the fans directly, but it's like, guys, be quiet, because nothing big is going to happen in the next few years. And guess who is loving that? This guy.
Well, there's a chance for the other teams to finally step up. Come on, we
stepped up last year.
We need someone we need someone to set a monopoly again, or not a monopoly. You need 3 regular teams challenging.
We need more of a Premier League type of picture. Yeah. But I think that this year is going to be exciting. I mean, AC Milan. Let's move to about Napoli. I have to say, Spalletti, yeah, good to see the Arsenal Chesney make a comeback.
Man, that guy's a clown. What is happening?
But Steve, the other thing is that here in Italy, everybody's just trying to put like this Chesney is the scapegoat, and I'm just like on Saturday night I was with two Juventus friends. They were just like, Chesney.
They were two bad mistakes, though, man. They were
bad mistakes. But at the same time, what did your forwards fucking do? They didn't do anything. Like they didn't do absolutely anything.
Their centre backs stood like statues for the second.
And I mean,
goal,
at this point, I think if I was a Juventus fan, I would want to see Perin start. He's the second goalkeeper. He's an experienced goalkeeper. He's got years in his belt in Serie A. He knows what he's doing, and I think he needs to be given a chance. And maybe, hey, sometimes you just catch a bad spell. Maybe Chesney needs a little rest. It's understandable, but something needs to change. Juventus don't have a personality anymore. I mean, Locatelli is not. When we had a poll on Instagram, I put it up. I was just like, is Locatelli going to help Juventus win the title? So many people were just like, yes, and it's just like,
I don't think he's the difference maker.
He's a very good player. He's a very talented player, but he's never been a leader, really.
I feel like even at Sassuolo, he didn't start that often, eh?
No, he started. He was a good player. He started, not always, but he started. He was one of their key players, but not the key player.
Yeah.
Extremely good. So many assists, incredible vision, but you can't expect Locatelli to turn everything around. And right now, you've lost Ronaldo. That, if anything, Ronaldo is a great leader for the rest of the team. Who's going to step up right now? I can't see anybody at Juventus stepping up. Chiesa. Because Bonucci and Chiellini, man, they're just too old. Like when Bonucci or Chiellini stands up, you're just like, man, I kind of washed up. Like at this point, just like I don't take it seriously.
Yeah, maybe.
Praise to Napoli. I'm really liking Spalletti's Napoli. Very free-flowing up front. They've got so many options. They have Insigne, they have Politano, they have Osimhen, they have Petagna, which is better him. They have Mertens, which is injured for now, but he's going to come back. They have some Elmas, Onas. They have so many options up front. I like the way Spalletti is handling the situation, and they think Napoli are in for a very good season. And what does this mean for Juventus? Juventus are 8 points below Napoli, but they've already played one head-to-head. So it's like 11 points almost.
It was like such a big game early in the season. Yeah. It was so key. And I think, I was impressed with Spalletti's Napoli. Got to give a word out to Anguissa because that guy was unbelievable. Ooh. Saw him at Fulham, thought he was a great player, but I didn't think he was that good. He absolutely ran that midfield against Juventus. Little back heels, little fucking shimmies past players, winning the ball back.
Beautiful.
His pass percentage was through the roof. I was like, this guy is a player. Like, really, really impressed with him. And I feel like that midfield, like the kind of spine that Napoli have got now with like Koulibaly, him, and then like Osimhen up front. And you're like, man, that is a spine of a team. Like, that is a hell of a spine. Maybe they could get a better keeper. I don't really like Ospina, but Ospina, I've got PTSD from him being at Arsenal.
There is this whole situation, Ospina and Meret. You never understand who's going to start. Meret is now injured. I think he's the better goalkeeper of the two, but he's had his stinkers back in the day. I know from a friend whose father used to be the trainer for Napoli's goalkeepers that they were just like, none of the two can be fully trusted.
Oh, wow.
And so they just go week by week.
Wow.
But what Steve is saying right now, they need the 3 or 4 midfielders. Steve, I wish I had actually like written down the minute this happened. But at the moment, Juventus get the ball. They move forward. And dude, I don't know what happened. There were like McKennie, I don't remember who the Locatelli, and 2 more. They were all within a meter of space. And they didn't know what to do. And at a point, that play ended with Locatelli passing the ball back to defense and yelling at the other 3, what the fuck are you doing? You could hear it. And the fans are back in the stadium. It was like, Raga, cosa fai? And I was just like, he's fucking right. Because they didn't, I think McKennie at a point, whom I really like and almost scored a goal too. At a point, he just like ran in the pass, basically, and he hit the ball back. And Locatelli was just, what the fuck are you doing, man? There is no clear idea of how football is being played at Juventus. I would love to keep talking about it, but we've got more to cover. Another team that is looking pretty fucking good is AC Milan.
Oh.
Now, last night's win against Lazio is another big one. AC Milan stayed perfect. Ibrahimovic comes back, scores the 2-0 that seals the game.
And it could have been 3. Kessie missed a penalty.
And it could have been 3. First goal by Rafael Leao. What did you make of the game? You watched it, right?
I did watch it. I was watching it. My girlfriend was like, why are we watching this? Milan against Lazio. You don't like either of these teams. I was like, this is going to be a great game. And it was a great game. I really enjoyed it. I feel like Sarri's still getting his feet under the table at Lazio. But Milan, under Pioli, they're playing some beautiful football. And you think, it was just really nice to watch. That Rafael Leao goal, the first goal, right, was a beautiful move. Great finish. I still don't massively rate Leao. I still think he's a little bit
overrated.
Yeah, I think he's just going to flatter to deceive for most of his career.
All
but
right.
It was a great goal. It does confuse me how AC Milan get penalties every single game. That does confuse me. Like
it is confusing.
It feels like every game they get penalties.
It feels like it. Yeah, Rory. After 1 year, he's finally got it.
But I was like, because it happened yesterday, obviously, and it was a bit soft anyway. Like, he kind of went to get the ball, followed through, and kicked the striker, and I was like, that's a bit soft. Another penalty.
Upon
Really?
VAR, I was just like, yeah, it's penalty.
I thought it was soft. But then Zlatan getting the second goal, I think Lazio was a bit harsh on Lazio maybe, but Milan played really, really well.
Yeah, very quick paced football too.
And then the brawl at the end.
Yeah,
they all
beautiful.
kicked off at the end, which is
we are going to work on a meme because it's a beautiful
I'm trying to
picture
think about
of Sarri yelling at Salmakers from AC Milan, and Salmakers going to looking at the ref and be like, "Hey,
this guy.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. I'm not doing anything. Look at this guy."
He's got quite a punchable face, Salamakers. Doing that, I was like, "Oh, you're asking for a slap."
And one thing I have to say, yeah, he did.
He was asking for a slap.
He didn't do anything though. It was
no.
But man, Sarri. Oh, look, Sarri. I just have to say one thing.
Cigarette in his mouth. Ooh.
Mate, Sarri. When he went to Juventus, so it's just like, man, Juventus are going to de-Sarri the shit out of him. They're going to give him a dress code. You can't do this. You can't do this. It's so beautiful to see Sarri at a club that allows him to be in a tracksuit 24/7, have his cigarette in his mouth, and be Sarri. Being Sarri also means being an idiot and being very ignorant. But I love Sarri pointing at a player and being like, "You're a piece of shit." And Juventus couldn't do that. But it's beautiful to see gas station Sarri back full.
We've said it before. I just want him to have a job where they're going to give him time and let him have his project. And I think at Lazio they should. They did it with Inzaghi. They did it with Inzaghi, exactly. So I think they should do it. And look, I don't like Lazio, but it would be nice to see them playing nice football.
Yeah, and sorry, we've talked about Roma already, but Roma have also they're the other perfect team in Serie A right now, as Inter Milan tied against Sampdoria. I really like the way they are playing football, and Shomurodov is an incredible purchase, I think, in the transfer window. He was. And they've got some players with a lot of drive in them, and one of them is Lorenzo Pellegrini. Now, Lorenzo Pellegrini did not play in the Euros because he got injured actually 3 days prior to the start of the Euros. Castrovilli ended up replacing him. He was benched the whole time. He didn't play any game. But man, Lorenzo Pellegrini, he can score. He can assist. He can, man.
Is he Roma? He's Roma born and bred, right?
Roma born and bred, grew up through the ranks.
I love that. They always have it at Roma. They always have it.
And he's already the captain, and I think he's going to be a huge thing. Huge thing. I went into the fantasy football auction telling myself I want Pellegrini, and Veretout got out without any.
Veretout went for a lot as well. Veretout went for a lot.
Man, but that midfield, Roma have got an incredible midfield. I think they did very good in the transfer window to replace Dzeko. I think it was time for Dzeko to go. Even for them, it was starting to become a weight. They've got a pretty good, solid backline as well. Spinazzola is going to be back in January, but for now, Vigna has been substituting him, and he's been doing good. And this is for our friend Joe Spagnoli, Roma fan, who said that Rui Patricio would suck dick, and he had an incredible game.
I think I said at the time, I always picked him as my fantasy goalkeeper. He's just very steady, reliable goalkeeper. Gets the job done.
Lots of experience.
I think he's for the goalkeepers that Roma have had over the last couple of years since Alisson. I think he's probably one of the safer pairs of fans they've had in a while, right?
100%. Paul Lopez
not,
was a bad experience.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going off the top of my head. Other games, well, Inter drew against Sampdoria.
Well, give us your quick 2 minutes on.
No, it's going to be less than 2 minutes. I think Inter played well. I mean, number one, I'm super happy for Federico Di Marco. Listeners, you know I've been talking about this guy for over 1 year, and I love this Instagram post where he said, the people who know me well, and I feel like I do because I follow him on Instagram, will know how hard I have worked for this shirt, and he did. He went on loan at Parma. He went on loan at Verona. He scored against us both at Parma and both at Verona. He did incredible wherever he went. And right now, I feel like very humbly he's taken up the task, and he's a starter for our team. And he scored any incredible free kick, like removing like the spider webs from the crossbar.
Nice.
That's what we say in Italian: togliere le ragnatele dal set. And it was beautiful to see, and I'm very happy for him. I think he's going to be an important pawn for Inzaghi. Talking about the actual game, Inter started to look tired after a bit. Sampdoria played a pretty good game. Not their best game ever, but in the two situations in which we got scored against, it was lazy defending.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. I think it's physiological. I mean, it's a draw. After all, it's a draw. It's a 2-2 draw at Marassi against Sampdoria. Not the first time nor the last time this will happen. I'm not too concerned. Conceding 2 goals in one game, considering we were the best defense in Serie A last year, kind of stinks, but at the same time we conceded 2 goals in multiple occasions also last year, so it can happen. Hopefully Inzaghi is the type of dude to look back at exactly what happened, because we're going to cover it soon. There is the Champions League this week. He took out a lot of the starters around the 60th minute. Then Sensi got injured. We're going to talk about him more during the Friday pod, but Sensi, I think he's done with football. I'm not saying it as a joke. I'm not saying.
But I think he's never going to get over 15 games in a season.
No,
again.
never.
Never.
15. I think 15 would be incredible already. I think he's simply a very good football player whose body is not cut out to be a footballer. Like his body cannot stand it. And then there are rumors about him being a party boy, but I don't know anything about that. So.
If you're injured forever and a millionaire, I think you're eventually going to turn into a fucking party boy, right?
Yeah, right.
If you've been injured for 9 months and you're like, okay, I might just have a beer because I don't have to work for 9 months.
That's powder. I think it could make my knee feel better. That's right. But yeah, I don't know about that. But Sensi, I think, is pretty much done. I wouldn't even put him in the pitch anymore. This said, yeah, it wasn't the most impressive game. I really liked the Di Marco goal, and then our Lautaro goal was beautiful. A very, very nice move starting from Hakan Çalhanoğlu, which I've been loving at Inter Milan.
It's a bit mad that that's going so well. I didn't think it would go that well.
I had a feeling it would. I mean, if you know the history of Inter Milan giving Seedorf and Pirlo to AC Milan, there has got to be like something that happens.
Payback eventually,
some payback that happens the other way around. But that's pretty much it. In Serie A, there was another incredible game. Go watch the highlights. It was Cagliari 2, Genoa 0. Not really. Genoa 3, Cagliari 2. That was a thrill. It was beautiful to watch. But Rory, it's finally time. In the remaining 60 minutes
we need to give the shout out to the guy who scored for Venezia, the coast to coast.
Oh, what's his name again? We're going to look it up right now. All right, I'm going to describe the goal. It was pretty much a coast to coast from these.
David Okereke.
He started from Serie D. I was quickly reading about him today. He started from Serie D, scored his first Serie A goal, which was sick. He took on, I think, a total of 5 defenders.
Yeah.
5 defenders.
And it's not like the George Weah one, because I think that George Weah one gets overhyped because the defenders run away from him. This guy goes past all the defenders.
Well, I don't think it is hyped. That's a great goal. The defenders, though, the
defending in that goal is terrible, but
it was an incredible goal. And one thing that he apparently, like, people who follow the lower leagues know this guy, and so everybody on Instagram was praising him for what he had done for his first Serie A goal. But I really liked the comment. Great goal, Daniel. Just work on the celebration. It was like a very high skip while pointing at the camera, and it looked.
Bring on the lower league celebrations.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And Steve Cole did watch the game, and also the Venezia first kit is sick.
I have to say, actually, thank you to Steve Cole. He tagged us in that tweet, so you're a hero. Yeah.
And also, that's Venezia's first Serie A win in 20 years since 2002. 19 years. And the last thing that we have to say is that Salernitana have the worst start in Serie A since what year, Rory?
94, 95.
Since 94, 95.
Yeah, not looking good. Not looking good.
I mean, it's all fun and games to bring on Simi and Ribery, but maybe it was the back line that needed some help. You know, when you try to give, like, to make the people happy, but at the same time, you're like, oh shit, I should have, like, invested.
I think that was
more
like
wisely.
Manchester United's transfer policy up until this year, right? That was like,
Just make the people happy.
just give them what they want.
But
Yeah.
guys, you want to do the Champions League anthem? Very quickly?
No, go on.
This is the
No,
short
that was
version.
terrible.
That was
Good work.
terrible. But this is, guys, it's Champions League week, baby. Chelsea are the current title holders, but tomorrow the Champions League kicks off again. We can't wait to hear that anthem. A lot of Italian teams and a lot of English teams are going to take the pitch this week. But the first standout game that we want to talk about is tomorrow at 9 p.m. Barcelona versus Bayern. The first time they meet since... What do you say, Rory?
Since the 8-2? Since the 8-2. I think, look, this is... especially with the state that Barcelona are in at the moment, like they've not had a terrible start to the season.
They've played only one game, right?
No, they've played 3 games.
2 games.
3 games.
3 games. Oh, they didn't play the fourth one.
Yeah. So they played 3 games and they're unbeaten, 2 wins and a draw. I think not a terrible start, but obviously it's not the Barcelona we all knew and loved, maybe. And you've got Bayern who are
big,
and you've got Bayern who are, you know, still the relentless machine with Lewandowski never stopping scoring. I think this could be a great game, but I think Bayern are going to batter them.
I think that if Barcelona get 1 point out of this, it's an incredible result. It's an incredible result because I think Barcelona still need a lot of time to get used to the post-Messi era. And did you see that video of Ronald Koeman welcoming the players?
That guy seems like,
man, it's just like the players like go towards him after an international break, and none of them looks like he really wants to interact.
There's quite a bit of a thing going around of Koeman being a bit of a wanker. Like, did you read the Pjanic interview where he was talking about, and he just came across so badly in that. And obviously,
and also Aguero recently said that there is no culture behind training, and he kind of hinted at the coach as well. But then you see this video of all the players coming back from international duty, and there is one of them. I think it's Montoya. Montoya.
Yeah.
He tries to walk away from him, and then Koeman is like, hey, and he's like, oh, hey, and he just ties his shoe and walks
when
away.
You have to talk to your boss and you don't want to.
Yeah. It's just it seems like the situation is not very comfortable. I say Bayern are going to batter them. Do you agree that if Barcelona get 1 point,
I think that's a great result? I think that's a great result. I think we're looking at it, Barcelona, then it's not a team, if you know what I mean. I think Barcelona can be in trouble there. But I think it's weird because Koeman did so well at Southampton and Everton until it didn't go well at Everton. It ended pretty badly at Everton, I think. But he did quite well in England, and then he's kind of lost his way a little bit. I don't know. It's weird.
I think
he lost his way. He's fucking Barcelona manager.
He's found it. He's definitely refound it at some point. But this is the first standout game. The other game that we pointed out as maybe the hipster's choice for tomorrow night is WE.ARE.BACK. Now, Atalanta have had a decent start to the season. They lost their latest game this weekend. They lost 2-1 against Fiorentina, braced by Vlahovic, who had him against in fantasy football. Oh, it was me. First game of the season, baby. Already being battered. But yeah, Atalanta have had a pretty good start to the season. Not as convincing as in the previous years. I think this one is a good first European test to understand what their aims are going to be. Villarreal, of course, Europa League title holders. Atalanta, they come in with the reputation that they've made for themselves over the past 2 years. I think Atalanta should win it, also because Villarreal are always aiming to get third. Europa League. That, of course, is a joke, but I think this one is going to be a pretty good game. Chelsea Zenit, do you think it's going to be light work for the Blues?
Yeah, I think there's going to be no real issue for them there. It's at home. I think Chelsea are kind of, like we said, they've got Juventus in their group, right? That's the only game where they might struggle, but looking at Juventus this season, Chelsea probably aren't going to struggle. I think.
Ooh, I forgot about that.
I think Chelsea could get through that group
after 3 games
with flying colours. Yeah, after 4 games qualified. I don't know. I think yeah, I wouldn't expect Zenit to cause too much of a problem to them. United are playing Young Boys away. United should see that off.
Yeah.
And then the other game that kind of jumped out.
So one other thing about Ronaldo that the cool thing that is also the understandable thing about Cristiano Ronaldo, but it's also the cool thing, is that he's always chasing a personal record.
Okay.
So there is no game that doesn't matter to him. There is always the Young Boys is going to be the only non-European Union team I've scored against. Like he's dying for that like Wikipedia like list. So I think there is every game he plays, he's got an extra reason to score. Then we're going to have on Wednesday, of course, Inter, Real Madrid.
How are you feeling, Tommy?
Well, I think, look, Real Madrid was not that great last year. Real Madrid are not that great this year. However, we lost 2 out of 2. No, we drew 1 and lost the other one, or lost both of them. We lost both of them to Real Madrid. I think this one should be the year in which Inter are like, all right, we're not the greatest team ever. They're not the greatest team ever. Let's fucking seal it. Let's get 6 points against these motherfuckers.
I love your attitude going into games.
Man, I want to see it.
I love your attitude before games.
We've got.
I love your attitude before.
We always struggle in the group stage, and
yeah, you never get out of the fucking thing.
Yeah. Except when we do, and then it's just like, woo. But so I think I don't know. It's going to be an interesting game. But earlier I did a poll on Instagram: who's going to win this game? And 97% of followers of this page voted Real Madrid, 3% Inter.
Oh, that's a bit harsh.
See, this is the people.
That's a bit harsh.
We're talking about Bayern and Barcelona. These are the people who vote for the name and not for the team that they actually have. Come on, 97% of people. I don't think in the world 97% of people think that Real are going to defeat Inter.
Wait, at the San Siro as well. That's bullshit.
Yeah, fuck that, guys. Like, what the fuck? No, I think Inter are going to win this first game. What do you say? However, Benzema was looking terrible.
I think you're going to lose it.
He scored the hat-trick. What's the final result?
3-1 Real.
Oh, Rory, ma che cazzo dici? Piece of shit. I'm going to say 2-1 Inter. 2-1. We're going to get scored against. Then we're going to have Atletico Madrid, Porto. Atletico Madrid just won in La Liga against Espanyol at the 100th minute. What would you do if your team lost at the 11th minute of stoppage time? I
feel like it must have happened to Arsenal at some point. We've lost in every way imaginable. It must have happened to us at some point. I feel like deep, deep pain and anger. And that's just watching Arsenal normally. But no, I think losing in the 100th minute would be to Thomas fucking Lamar as well. The guy never does anything, and he pops up with that. Like,
Porto drew over the weekend against the Sporting Lisbon. They had the 75th minute equalizer. Griezmann is back. He played the whole game on Sunday. What do you think? 2 teams that have also got a great tradition of strikers. We were talking about earlier.
Yeah, we were kind of thinking about possible ideas. I think, they've both got legacies of great strikers. I think this will be an interesting game. I think there's no way that it's going to be easy for Atletico. No way. And I think if there wasn't Inter Real, I'd probably be watching that game. Or Liverpool Milan. But we'll get on to that.
I think the game that I'm going to be watching. Wait, we play on the same night. Damn, we play at the same time as Liverpool AC Milan. We're going to have to double screen that shit.
I think so.
Guys, Liverpool AC Milan, do you want to go for the crazy stat? Go for it. It came from the top of my head earlier.
Milan,
pretty proud of this.
Milan have never played at Anfield.
All right.
And the only time these 2 teams have ever played each other have been Champions League finals.
Whoa. And one was won by AC Milan and the other one was won by Liverpool. Actually, Liverpool and then AC Milan.
And I feel like it's... For a team that have only played each other twice, it's a really iconic fixture.
It's super iconic.
And it's like they've only played each other twice in history.
All right. I'm going to put you on the spot quickly. If you had, if I tell you Liverpool, AC Milan, what is the first image that comes to your mind? Go.
I think, probably, I don't know. Yeah, the Istanbul final.
No, image. Just an image. A picture. Boom. If you had to take a picture.
Dudek.
Right, man. I'm just thinking of the Polish goalkeeper for Liverpool, just jumping on the line and moving his hands, trying to distract the players, and Shevchenko missing his penalty.
Also, not to like, this is really quite boring.
Let's
maybe,
rub it
but
in. Let's rub it
under
in.
modern rules, all those penalty saves would have been ruled out because Jerzy Dudek's on the penalty spot by the time he
And
kicks
that's
it.
why the early 2000s were a great time to be alive and
Yeah.
to support Inter Milan.
Yeah.
Because maybe they wouldn't win the Champions League, but you could see AC Milan losing a final. So that was great. Liverpool, AC Milan. Let's not think about the name. Let's not think about the prestige of this game. Not about the fact that AC Milan are going to play at Liverpool for the first time in their history. What do you make of it? Who is going to come out top?
Liverpool will win this, I think.
I think this has got draw written.
Oh, really?
over
I
it.
kind of saw a not comfortable, but comfortable-ish win for Liverpool.
All right. I think it could be a 2-2 draw. I think quite a few goals. AC Milan are playing very offensive football. I think it could be interesting. Then we've got Club Brugge, PSG. I think Messi is going to make his Champions League debut.
Has he played for PSG yet? No.
He's played one game, I think.
Oh, okay.
But that's the other boring thing about fucking PSG. Like, I was reading their lineup the other day. Donnarumma started, so it was kind of around the headlines in Italy. Then you look at their bench. Ramos and Messi weren't even on the bench. Like, what kind of fun is that? It's starting to feel like those NBA teams, those NBA teams that play Kawhi Leonard, say, when the playoffs come around. Like, and the rest of the season, it just kind of sits there.
Okay.
I don't want football to become like that. Like, I don't want Messi to be sitting around the entire League season and then pop up in the Champions League final.
That kind of reminds me of, do you know when El Fenomeno was linked with Rangers?
Oh, shit.
And they offered him a contract where you wouldn't have to play any Scottish games, just in the Champions League. And it's like kind of getting those vibes from the Messi PSG deal.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
And Neymar, he never fucking plays.
I read there is this Italian magazine called the Rivista Contrasti, and they had a very good post about, I don't know, there were a few polls on Instagram and on Twitter these days. Which one is a more iconic signing? Ronaldo back to United or Messi back to PSG? And these guys from this magazine, they were just like, all right, we got to jump in here and just say,
what the fuck is this?
What the fuck is this? Like, Messi to PSG makes very little sense to football in general. While the other thing is an iconic thing. Nobody's loving Messi at PSG.
No. No one's excited about it except Parisians.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Qatari royal family.
Yeah. And everybody making money. And the Messi family, right?
Yeah.
But the other games that we're going to have on are Man City, RB Leipzig. RB Leipzig have kind of been robbed over the past 2 years by, guess who? Bayern Munich.
Pickpocketed and beaten up.
They lost against Bayern Munich. Do you think they can have a saying at the Etihad Stadium?
I feel like they're massively in transition, Leipzig, at the moment, after losing their manager, their captain, and their best defender. Who'd have thought it? So I think maybe Man City are going to kind of see this one out. But
here's the other one. Earlier, I was thinking, who were the players that Bayern robbed from Leipzig? So I thought Upamecano, then Sabitzer, then Werner went to Chelsea. And I was like, there is one more. The fucking manager. Holy fucking shit. You sneaky bastard.
I don't feel... I know it's a stick that the Bundesliga gets beaten with all the time. And I love the Bundesliga. It's great football. It's a great...
Incredible goals.
Great division. But the fact that one team just poaches all the talent so consistently, it is a bit mad. I saw a meme
the other day that said it went Barcelona, La Masia, Real Madrid, La Máquina, and Bayern Munich, and then the Bundesliga logo. It was just like, it's kind of easy to be Bayern Munich, right? You just sit there, look at the other games, and like, it's good. And then, I mean, these and the teams too, like when the offer comes, they're just like 50 million. You're just like,
and then the players like, well, if I want to win the league, I've got to join them fuckers. If I ever want to win the league, I have to join them. So it's like this snake eating its own tail kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's like it's self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't know.
And another game that I think could be interesting, this one is on Wednesday at 6:45, is Besiktas Dortmund. I think Dortmund should win it, but guys, there is nothing like an away game in Turkey. Pjanic is there too. Welcome to Besiktas. We've all seen the memes. Please come to Besiktas and everything. I feel like they've built, if anything, a meme reputation for themselves over the past years. They're one big team, always difficult to play in Turkey. Turkish champions. I think this could be a very, very interesting game. Also, considering the statements made by Haaland during the week, I think I should have more goals than games. What do you make of that
right?
statement?
He wants it. Maybe he should.
Man,
Maybe all strikers should. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I just look. We were talking about it, and we saw the quote the other day. I saw the quote, and I was reporting it to Rory, and he sounded that serious. And as I was folding like my quotes, I told Rory, I was like, just hope that Erling Haaland never ever fucking meets Antonio Conte.
Yeah.
Because we were watching the highlights from the Borussia Dortmund game, and the commentator said that he had scored only his third header in the Bundesliga. Now, if Conte had heard that, he would have been like, wait a second, there is something we can
That's
massively
another 30
work
goals
on.
a year.
That's another 30 goals a year. And so I actually love what he's saying. Like, I want to be even better than I am. This is not my maximum potential.
I'm so scared about where he's going to end up. I'm so terrified.
You know, it's not going to be either Inter or Arsenal, right?
I know. But there's definitely teams I'd rather he went to than like fucking United or Chelsea.
But
you know what I mean?
apparently United are in pole position to sign him next summer.
I don't
understand how Ronaldo and Haaland and Sancho, and how is that going to work? And
like
Bruno
they've even
Fernandes.
slightly thought about it. They have not thought about it.
No, they're just like, we're going to
shiny toy. Bang.
we're going to think about it later. But Rory, I think we've covered everything that we want to talk about. Anything?
I think that's it.
Extra?
I think that's it. We could look into the Europa League or Conference League, but I think on Thursday maybe we'll do on our Friday episode we'll do a bit of Conference League chat or something. I feel like I've got a bit of love for the Conference League.
I knew this would happen with Rory. Whenever I heard last year, whenever I heard Rory, like, you know, being like, no, fuck the Conference League, we're not gonna cover that. I was like, this is going to change very soon because Rory loves a shitty competition.
I love a shitty team. I love a shitty team.
Shitty competition, just like where weird shit happens. Like you have to travel 1,000 miles.
I can't wait. You've got like Estonian champions taking on Azerbaijani champions. I can't wait. Come on, guys, someone give me a bit of support that you're looking forward to the Conference League.
By the way, we weren't looking at the messages because we had to open another tab with all the Champions League games. But this said, we forgot to say that we are sponsored by Sport Clubs Maps. They're our sponsor, and we always forget to shout them out. Guys, really, if you aren't Bryce, Steve, and all the other boys that are listening, if you're not following them, you're doing it wrong. At Sport Clubs Maps, correct? On Instagram and on Twitter. Starting from next week, we have to figure out a way of how to do it, but we're going to start giveaways. So during our Monday night Euro review. So if you want to win a cool mug, a cool mouse pad, a cool poster, a cool whatever, make sure you follow them, because if you don't follow them, you're not going to be eligible, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. And all the stuff looks sick. We're going to have to get a few pieces for ourselves around here, you know, a bit of advertisement. Great products. Definitely check them out. From next week, prize giveaways. And the noise that you heard in the background is my cat that is not loving the fact that we locked her in the toilet because we needed to record. But guys, this is it from me. Remember to give us a follow on Instagram at Anglo-Italian Pod and on Twitter at Italian Anglo Pod. Anything else to add? No, I don't think so. I think I'm done. I'm looking forward to the Champions League.
Man, big time. Maybe support Inter against Real Madrid. Let's go. Love an underdog story. Talk to you later, guys.
See you later, guys.